This lady saw what she saw. She wasn't drunk. She wasn't a Karen. She wasn't just some belligerent lady who got onto a plane and decided to be dumb and stupid and act out. She didn't just get on this plane and pay her good money just to end up on a no-fly list. This lady saw something. And I didn't think we'd be talking about it so soon, but here we are.
Let's talk about it.
Shawty, come and swing my way. We ain't gotta waste no time now, baby. Put that ass all in my face. I just wanna bump and grind on you. On you. Want you on my face, so shawty, come and swing my way.
I want people to have fun. Let's kick back. Let's get into a little tea. Let's not get too crazy, but let's enjoy the sip.
What's going on, y'all? It's Santana, aka Chi, and we are back for another motherfucking Let's Talk About It, okay? Now, this Let's Talk About It is more of like it's gonna be somewhat of like a Chi-Chi's commentary, but still, let's talk about it nonetheless, because I mean, it's in the blog, so, we are speaking about it. What's in the blogs, but this is gonna be a little bit different. Because I got a lot of things to say. I have a lot of opinions. I have a lot of thoughts. And, this video might take some of y'all by surprise. You probably weren't expecting me to cover something like this. And yeah, it's just some things that we gotta get into, because for those of you that don't know, I do have two channels. So I have this entertainment channel, and then I also have a separate channel called Aligning Souls that I've had since the end of 2019. Now, it started out as Aubrey Soul Tarot, then it became the Tarot Gang, then it, evolved into Aligning Souls. And it's not a channel that I've been active on in the last 2 years, really. I want to say up until about like summer 2021, I was extremely active. But then, like, when summer 2021 came around, I kept feeling this nudge from spirit that it was time to rebrand. And if you've been following me for any length of time now, you know that I've spoken about before, all the rebrands that I've gone through in my life. I started out doing graphic design as a kid, then that turned into like a professional business within the industry for, a bunch of celebrities and record labels and things like that. And then eventually it turned into, me doing YouTube. And, I started off doing entertainment, then I switched over to Storytimes, and then I switched over to Aligning Souls. And, every time that it was time for me to rebrand, I always got these notifications and these basically red flags from the universe that, okay, it's time to make that switch. And I would notice because my money would ultimately be affected. And, I knew that it was time to make a switch. Now, I say all of that to say around this time of June 2021, around that spring, summertime, around then, I had been getting so many red flags and just notifications and downloads from the universe that it was time to switch. And I wasn't really sure where I was going to be, what things were going to come up, what was going to happen. And so shortly after that time period, the North Node slipped into my fourth house of home, and the South Node slipped into my 10th house. Now, I spoke a lot about this within the Get Ready With Me that I posted yesterday. I spoke a lot about this and what that all means. So definitely go check out that video if you want to know more about, what I mean when I say fourth house and 10th house. But basically, with astrology, you go through these transits and you have the North Node and the South Node. North Node is all about your destiny. South Node is all about karma and letting go of things. And so when I say that the North Node had transited into my fourth house of home, it was more attention and expansion, placed on that area of my life. And the South Node was on my 10th house of career, where it was less focused on career. And so needless to say, I wasn't posting on YouTube at all. Now, when I was doing the Aligning Souls channel, I had completely stopped doing the entertainment channel, and I was just solely focused on doing the spirituality channel. Basically, over the period of time that I wasn't doing the Aligning Souls channel, I got all of these nudges and these, again, downloads from the universe that I needed to start back up the entertainment channel and that I needed to bring up my entertainment side. But then I was also feeling like these these callings to let out the spiritual side. And so basically the place that I've been in the last couple of years has been in a space where I have my entertainment side and then I have my spiritual side. And then it's a matter of getting both to coexist and exactly what does that look like, right? And so over the last couple of years, I've been back and forth with spirit, asking for different confirmations, like, okay, exactly how am I going to execute this? How is it going to work? Because I understand completely who I am. I could be ratchet, I could be righteous, and, we can pop ass and twerk and this, that, and the third, and we can have the deep conversations and, meditate and do shadow work and all of that. But knowing where the world was headed, I started to see why they needed me to get to a point where I no longer had things separate, and it wasn't just like a story time channel versus an aligning souls channel, but like to bring everything together. Because I realized, like, okay, like I'm one of those people who I captivate an audience. People gravitate towards me, towards my personality, towards how I speak, and I'm also somebody who's very damn well good at my job when it comes to my spirituality and spiritual practices and teachings and things like that. And so, I'm one of the few people who can bridge that gap between the everyday person and spirituality, versus somebody who, you see the typical beings that are really spiritual or whatever. And then it's like, you feel like you're getting beat over the head with a history lesson or a spiritual lesson. It's like I'm somebody who is basically like spirituality and astrology and all of that for dummies. And so the whole point of me saying all of that is that where this world is headed is into very revealing times. And a lot of people are starting to wake up. A lot of people are starting to come online. And it's things that I've talked about for a long time on my spirituality channel. Nothing of what we're going to talk about in this video is a shock to me, is new to me. In fact, like I've covered things like this before. Like none of this is new or shocking. It's just that this is the first time I've done it on this channel, right? And I guess this outwardly and this publicly, I guess. And that's why I related back to my whole come up as to where I am now, because for a long time I felt like, okay, eventually I'm going to have to start deep diving into certain topics, because it's going to get to a point where it's not just like, it's one thing to have a spirituality channel, and on a spirituality channel we're talking about spiritual things where, of course, like we're all spiritual, we're all practicing the same things, and we know about tarot and oracle and the occult, and we are all here for that. That's one thing. But to come on a channel like this, where a lot of people may not know about that world, is very different. And I've been dreading it for the longest and almost avoiding it. And it's crazy because even a couple of days ago, I had asked Spirit for confirmations, because I was feeling, again, like it's time for me to merge my channels. It's time for me to merge my channels. It's time for me to start talking about the deeper stuff, because I did not want to become a target. Even more than I already am. I mean, listen, I'm already, like, if you know, I'm already a target just based off of who I am. But like, once you start getting into certain topics that are like super, super off kilter, super, super off to the left, super, super like going against the status quo, you really, really become a target. Even with the subject of what we're going to talk about, I worry and pray about the actual subject within the video, because she's now a target. And that can be scary. That can be scary. But it's just time. It's just time. It's just time. And as we go through this, you'll understand why, like, the last couple of, last 10 minutes we just spent discussing all of that, because it adds to the overall story, and it adds to what's going on, because it's at a point now where this is bigger than just sitting on TikTok and kikiing with, the others that's in the rabbit hole with me. This is bigger than discussing this shit on a Aligning Souls live stream. Like, it's bigger than that. And I actually did a reading about this where some of these things came up, but we'll get to that. Now, if you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, judging from the thumbnail, judging from the title, we had this situation that happened the other day, right? The situation that has gone viral, and you would think that it would just be like a like a regular TikTok video where, we always see y'all acting belligerent on planes and shit like that. So it's nothing new, especially now after COVID. People are losing their fucking minds and, people are recording it. And so at first glance, it's like, okay, this is just another one of those situations. But no, this is a situation that has made a lot of people feel uncomfortable and has picked up steam. And I mean like steam, like even off of TikTok to being on the news, to being on the blogs, to being on TMZ, to being on Daily Mail. And let's actually go ahead and get into it right now. Okay. So from the Daily Mail reports that guy is not real in quotation marks. Astonishing woman, distressed woman has meltdown on plane over imaginary passenger and demands to be let off. A woman was felt in distress aboard an American Airlines flight in Dallas. The clip was shared on TikTok on Sunday and has been seen millions of times. The original poster said the flight was delayed 3 hours due to the incident. Now, a woman's meltdown was caught on video as she frantically demanded to get off a plane and claimed someone in the back of the aircraft was not real. Footage shared on TikTok on Sunday night shows a woman seemingly in distress on board an American Airlines flight departing from Dallas Fort Worth, Texas airport. I'm telling you, I'm getting the fuck off. Well, y'all will hear it when we play the video. I ain't gotta read all that. But basically, she's saying, "Let me get the fuck off the plane. That motherfucker back there ain't real." Right? And so it's unclear what the woman was referring to. Passengers turned their head as she seemed to point to the back of the plane. The video's poster, who goes by, y'all see the name, claimed the incident delayed this flight by 3 hours. The TikTok user said the woman somehow didn't get arrested and got back through security. Of course she didn't. Of course she didn't. The TikTok user said the woman somehow did not get arrested and got back through security after the whole plane had to deplane. DailyMail.com has contacted American Airlines for comment on this story. The original video has garnered more than 20,000 views and was reposted under the popular TikTok hashtag drunk on a plane. Take note of that. Gathering more than 3 million views. Now, despite a lack of details, thousands of TikTok users weighed in on the comments. One viewer wrote, "I need to see him. I will be able to tell if he's not human. She may be telling the truth." Another one joked, writing, "So we're not going to see who Minnie Mouse is talking about?" A third said, "No, because I would have to get off this plane. I'm not about to be the final destination." It was a chaotic weekend for traveling in the nation as desperate families were forced to sleep in airports after thousands of flights have been delayed or canceled over the 4th of July weekend. Now, nearly 100 flights have already been canceled on Monday alone, while delays were at 1,300 by lunchtime and steadily climbing. The 4th of July flight may continue today as travelers make one last ditch effort to get to their destinations for holiday on Tuesday after storms walled up the country in recent days, causing mass delays and cancellations. More severe weather is expected to pummel at the. Okay, fuck all of this other shit. Fuck all of that other shit. Fuck all of that other shit. Fuck all of that other shit. That other shit doesn't matter. Okay, like that's where you start getting into the fluff and da 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 da. And see, that was part of my because we're gonna get into the video. We're gonna get into the video because the second that I saw the video, I had an immediate concern. It was an immediate uncomfortableness, and I recognized immediately what the fuck was going on. And just from reading this like article, like, and see, this is why I always bring up like my Pluto 10th house Scorpio energy because I can see through the bullshit. I can see through the bullshit of the media. I can see through the bullshit of people. I can just see through the fucking bullshit when somebody is trying to sell you something, right? And so even with this article that was posted on dailymail.com, it's like they clearly didn't give a fuck. Like y'all posting the jokes that people making about it, talking about the final destination, this, that, and third, which we're going to get into. But then you start talking about all the flights that was delayed and this, that, and the third. Like they're painting and trying to shift, trying to shape shift the story into this just being somebody who probably was drunk and upset because they missed a bunch of flights, and they're trying to paint it into that. That's not what this was. That's not what this was. But we're gonna go ahead and get into a video of it. Let me see, because there's so many different there's so many videos, and I think I want to go back to the original TikTok because these blog sites be editing the fuck out of shit. So I'm gonna see if I can find the original because I saved so many. Let's see. Let me see if I can put this back up. I saved so many TikToks trying to look for it. Definitely follow me on TikTok too. Let's see if I can find the original TikTok. Okay, so we just. I love how it still ends up being Daily Mail, anyways. Listen, first of all, take notice of this 777 right here, okay? And then it's on the comment, what in the final destination is she talking about? And I would usually play this a couple of times, but there's so many different camera angles and whatnot, so I'm not even going to focus on that. You've probably already seen the video by now. But just reading some of these comments, okay? Shout out to the angel number 777. What in the final destination is she talking about? I would have got off this too. I'm telling you right now, in the Mickey Mouse voice. Like, as you can see, people are not really here for her. Okay, people are confused. People are like, what the fuck is going on? People are in a space of like, listen. Oh, child. Oh, child. I'm gonna have to play the video again because I just realized. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now, that back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to.
Child, because this whole time I thought y'all was hearing, I thought y'all was hearing and seeing what the fuck I was looking at. I was on the wrong goddamn website thing. But yeah, this is the 777 that I was talking about, and this is the comment that I was talking about where I said, what in the final destination, Minnie Mouse voice, da. Okay, so listen. Immediately, like I said, after I watched the first initial video, I already knew in my head, I was like, yeah, she saw something that was a human. Point blank into the period. She saw something that wasn't human. She saw a reptilian. She saw a shapeshifter. Point blank in the period. And like I said, this isn't something that I would normally discuss on this channel. The spirit has been pushing to be more open, talking about shit like this. We're going to ease into it, okay? Because, like, I mean, in regular everyday life, yeah, sure. But, like, publicly, I like to keep shit surface. But, like I said, spirit has kind of been on my ass for a long time now that I'm not going to be able to keep shit so surface, okay, with these conversations because things are coming out. Things are coming out. And before I even get into any of the other videos, I do want to let me go back to an original video that I posted because what's crazy is that I actually posted a reading the other day, right? I posted a reading the other day and the reading title was New Partnerships Forming in Old Earth versus New Earth. So if you don't know what I do on Align of Souls, basically what I do is I do these I do personal readings, yes, where you can like order like a personal reading, but in order to promote that and show you like what the fuck I do collective readings. Like, so collective readings could be anything from like just urgent random messages I get, like that could be just, you know, psychic downloads, or it could be like anything that I, you know, visions that come from the dream state, or just, you know, just nudges from the universe. It could include tarot, it could include oracle. And, you know, it could be a collective message for like the general public, like for everybody. It could be for the world, and it can also be like zodiac signs. So usually it's a mixture of that, but definitely usually collective. And I do like individual zodiac sign videos, whatever. So when I posted this video, this particular reading, I was supposed to do my thing where I do the collective video and then I go into like the individual 12 zodiac signs, but I ended up not doing that because this particular video ended up taking so long, and it took like about 30 minutes for me to record it because it was just so many messages that was coming out, because I went into it with the intention to, okay, this is going to be for the month of July, what's coming in for the month of July. And basically throughout throughout this reading, I was just picking up heavy on the fact that this is old Earth versus new Earth. People have awakened, people are going to awaken. There's going to be a major event, if not several major events that happen that trigger and shock people. Like almost like like when you're like dead and then they try to like get you alive and then they have to like electrocute you to jump you back up. Like there's going to be events like that like just like trigger shock people into waking up or into questioning shit, and there's going to be a clear divide. And I even called the video let me see if I can get the just to show like the thumbnail. Like even with the thumbnail, I called it. I said, prepare for the divide in collective consciousness, right? Now, mind you, this reading was recorded probably like 3 days ago. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I think about 3 days ago. Yeah, I think at this point. Either way, I didn't see the airplane shit and what was going on with the airplane until after this video was posted. I did not know anything about the airplane shit until after this is posted. Now, like I said, when I did this reading, it was very much giving there is going to be a clear divide in the divine consciousness. Well, no, let me not say divine consciousness. There's going to be a clear divide in the collective consciousness within the month of July is going to be made more clear because it's something that's already been happening. It's something that's already been around. But like during the month of July is when it's going to start to become much more noticeable because there's going to be certain events that trigger it. Little did I know this was going to be one of those things. But I did want to kind of jump into the reading just a little bit, just so y'all can hear some of the things that I was saying. Because I definitely feel like they apply to this and we'll give a deeper context as to what's going on. Because that lady was not drunk. I don't care what anyone's saying. It wasn't a Final Destination type of situation. She wasn't fucking drunk. That lady was truly fucking scared because she saw a shapeshifter and she was not ready to see it. She wasn't ready to see it. She's not. It would be different had I saw it or like somebody that's more spiritually aligned or of a different vibration, but she wasn't ready for it. And it happened. Now, wait a minute. Let me go ahead and present this. Here. Okay, but you're going to need and want to be in alignment because a lot is going on in this world. Like a lot is going on collectively in this world, and you're going to want to be of high vibration. Okay? Now, next energy that we have, speaking of energy, is social energy. So the social energy of this month that we have is third eye chakra, right? I do feel like a lot of people are going to awaken this month. I do. I feel like a lot of people have already been awakening. I feel as though I honestly and truly, I feel like something is going to happen to where people are just going to know bullshit. And it's been happening and it's going to continue to happen. I mean, look at what happened with the submarine. Look at what happened with the red smoke that was in New York and it came back, 2 weeks later. Like, look at the alien sightings, that happened over in Vegas and around the world. Like, collectively, people are waking up. Whereas in 2019, it might have been a group of us, all on this tarot channel and the tarot community and things like that. Collectively, people are receiving downloads and people are waking up, and it's becoming bigger than just tarot and astrology and oracles and YouTube channels. It's like whatever methods that spirit and the universe needs to use to force people to wake up, people are waking up. Now, of course, it's not going to be everybody, but there are large amounts of people that are going to collectively wake up, and I do feel like there's going to be a lot of downloads that are going to be happening about this month. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, so like I said, going into the reading, I had felt like this, and honestly, let me just keep it a buck with y'all. I tend to jump timelines a lot, and I tend to astral project as well as lucid dream unconsciously a lot. And I talked a little bit about this in the story time Get Ready With Me that I posted yesterday. Like, I'm starting to be a lot more, because even on my spirituality channel, we talk about shit like this, but like, I keep things to a certain minimum. Like, I don't, like, once it starts getting controversial against, like, how do I put it? Tarot and oracle and just the basis of spirituality is one thing, but then when it starts getting super controversial, and it starts leaning super far left, okay, flat earth, firmament, how outer space isn't really up and it's down below, okay? As above, so below. And you gotta go through the water, down through the ocean to get to the okay, come on, the submarine disclosure. Like once we start getting into those type of conversations about disclosure and all like that shit that kind of makes me feel uncomfortable discussing publicly. And I'm still learning to get to that place, even though I'm being forced to get to that place now because we're getting to a point where it's age of Aquarius and it's all gonna come out anyway. So I might as well be one of the four, you know. Okay. Might as well be four. Okay. Still, going into this reading, I knew and felt like there was going to be major events happening because we have recently shifted into a new dimension. And some people are going to get that. Some people aren't. Some people are going to be like, okay, well, this still looks like the same earth to me. I still see my mother. I still see my friends. It's that and a third. And it's like, yeah, but it's more of like, I'm trying to find a way to explain it, like and simplify it without giving too drawn out of an answer. But put it this way: you hear people say all the time about like matrix glitches, right? Like a glitch in a matrix, and it's true because there's so many different dimensions going on simultaneously, all at once, right? And even when you think about 2012 and how people used to say the world was going to end and this, that, and a third, it did. It did. And we shifted into a new paradigm, into a new dimension. That's exactly what happened. And we're constantly jumping timelines and shifting dimensions and things like that. But then there are times where there's such a grand change, which is one of the reasons why people keep saying, oh, life feels so different, since the pandemic, like life is not the same as 2019. And it's not. It's not. And that's something that I was extremely, extremely, extremely vocal about on my Aligning Soul channel. Please listen, if you are a sub of the Aligning Soul channel and you were around for like these readings and shit that I keep mentioning and referencing, please drop down in the comment box below and support me and let the people know. Because I've been talking about this shit for years. And like I said, going into this reading, I just intuitively knew, yeah, some things are going to start happening, right? And so we're going to get back to the plane and, in a second, but like, I just knew. And there's also too another message too, and I do want people to go watch this reading. I'm still trying to figure out if I'm gonna start posting the readings over here because it's just like I wish that this would work like a website and people just knew, because I hate having to promote two different channels. Like I hate the fuck out of that. But then at the same time, it's like if I'm posting like 12 commentary videos a day, it's like that it could be too much. If I'm also posting 12 zodiac videos a day, then it's like 24 videos on the feed. So it's like for organization purposes, I'm trying to keep it separate, even though I really do want all of it together. So I'm still working and trying to figure it out, because honestly and truly, a lot of the messages that I have and that I need to say, like this, these people already fucking know. And that's why in June 2021, and it's crazy because this is the first time I'm thinking about it, but in June 2021, June usually represents like graduation month, at least for like up here. Like that's what we know in the tri-state area, New Jersey, New York. Like June represents graduation month. And now that I'm thinking about it, like my services were done. It was no longer needed for the Aligning Souls people. And like I just said, like I feel like the last couple of years, they've been calling me to merge everything together. It's like bring that spirituality to the entertainment field. Because when you think of like the spirituality, all you think of is people like Omarion or Erykah Badu, where it's like they're super earthy. And it's like there's not just one way to be spiritual. And it's not always just fucking moons and crystals and sage. A lot of that shit that y'all see on TikTok and in the media is very fucking surface. It's very fucking surface. Like spirituality goes deep. We're talking about warfare. Like it is deeper than, oh, my ancestors. Like it gets extremely fucking deep. Okay? Angels, demons, spirits, omens, like 5D, astral projecting, lucid dreaming. Like it goes deep, you know? And so it's just like, now that I think about it, like, I guess me leaving that channel was kind of like a graduation period, because truly, this video that I posted right now, this isn't for that channel and the people that are following that channel that are already in tune and already a part of New Earth. This is for people that are questioning what's going on and may not know how to explain it. Like, what the hell is old Earth versus New Earth? I know I've been feeling certain, like, and I talked about it in the story time. Get ready with me. Like, if you've recently been having headaches or feeling sick or feeling like you can't sleep or constantly waking up at a certain time every night, like, a lot of it is for a reason, because you are adjusting to this new earth. You may not be able to put it into words, but yes, it's your body adjusting into this new dimension, this new frequency that we have entered into, right? And so a lot of these messages, and see, maybe this is just spirit talking through me now so I can get it, because I know it might sound like rambling to y'all, but for me, I'm like really like processing what I'm saying as it's coming out of my mouth. But like, yeah, I guess it really is time to just start putting my messages on this channel, because my messages aren't for people who already get it. It's for people who see a way out but just need a little bit of help. Which brings me to my next point, because even with this plane situation, right, and with the YouTube video, I called it the divide in the collective consciousness, because when you wake up, when you come online, when you're activated, especially now with the energy shifts and the timeline shifts and whatnot, you're going to be able to see more. Life is bigger than just what you see with your naked eye. Hell, this whole world is bigger. Like, you can literally Google and see, and like all the things mythical. And I'm trying not to take this all over the place, but I'm trying to like just get to the point in ways that y'all understand. But put it this way: there are things that you cannot see because you might not be able to, like, you're not at that frequency yet. You're not. Just like, you know how they say, like, if you're so booked and busy and so paid, you don't even worry about the bullshit. Yeah, because your frequency is so high that you don't even know what's going on down there in the nosebleeds. So it's kind of the same shit almost, in a way. Because see, when you vibe higher, you ascend. But then there's a lot of people that are able to go to different dimensions and basically see things that you cannot necessarily see with the naked eye. And so in a situation like this with the lady and this thing that she saw on the plane, of course, it's not going to be 1,001 people jumping to her side. Oh, I saw it too. I saw it too. I saw it too. Because everybody's not vibing at the same level that she is. Everybody's not at that same frequency. And it wasn't meant for everybody to see. And then in turn, that creates a divide between people, because then it's like you have people that will get labeled as conspiracy theorists or madmen or drunk or crazies. Like, we've seen all the disclosure in all the movies. How many times do people get labeled as crazy when they are saying something that eventually turns out to be fucking true 20 fucking years later? But by then it's too fucking late, because now this person is already, we've already drugged them up and now they're high off medication or locked away in a cellar somewhere. But like, all the same people that motherfuckers called crazy, their predictions sure turn out to be right a lot of the time. But they get called crazy up front. And that's what's going on right now. So let's go ahead and skip to this last clip so we can go ahead and get into these plain clips. And then, because this video wasn't supposed to be that long, but like, child, fear. But at the same time, I do feel like there is going to be energies that is working against it, right? I do feel like as more people wake up, there's going to be more distractions. There's going to be more smoke and mirrors. There's going to be more things to try and keep people in a state of confusion or a state of fear. Now, getting into the next energy of something we should pursue this month: obstacles and challenges. Obstacles and challenges. There are going to be things. Let me read the book. Because there's something within the book that needs to be said. I'm feeling like there's something that's within the book. And when I say, for those that don't understand how these readings work, I read intuitively. There's things that just come to me. Okay. I have all of the clears and I cannot control it. I spoke deeply about this within the story time. Get ready with me. Okay. So go watch that if you want to know like a deeper dive on what all I mean. But when I do my readings, I read intuitively. So there's things that I know, and then there's things that I just know because I just know. And there's things that come to me. And then there's these little nudges that'll happen. So like when I say, like, let me grab the book, or like I need to read this book, right? it's not necessarily about, oh, let's get the exact definition for the card. It's more of like spirit, like nudging, like, hey, like there's something that within this that needs to be said to like, like the more readings that you watch, the more you'll understand. Book that needs to be said. So let me go ahead and read it. The card represents the obstacles, power struggles, and power struggles. Right. Because that's what I was going to go into. So maybe it was that. This card represents the obstacles, power struggles, and challenges that you must face in order to overcome them. This could be a difficult period to get through, but it's not impossible. But if you open your mind and see the bigger picture of how something went wrong, don't get caught up in it. Just pause and stand back for clarity. Observe where adjustments are required or which decisions may need, crazy because I wanted to say delusions, or which decisions may need to be changed in order to enable you to move forward in a positive direction. I'm telling you, this is a month where I do feel like collectively we are shifting. And it's not that we haven't shifted before, like we're constantly moving, constantly planets are transiting and whatnot. And that's why I'm so glad to be back so I can like start talking more astrology with y'all from a deeper level, and y'all, you know, will better understand these messages when they come out. Because we're constantly growing and evolving and transiting and all of these things. But we're getting to a point now where every shift is starting to become more and more crucial, right? Again, right now is a time where people are waking up. Collectively, the energy is people are waking up. We're seeing through the bullshit. We're seeing through the fog and mirrors. And we're like, really, like, again, this comes down to partnerships and action. Like, who do I want to align myself with, right? This is way bigger than to get the jab or not get the jab. Does COVID exist or is it not? That are like, it's bigger than that, but all of that was a huge preview as to what's coming. And so yeah, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Okay. But all of that relates to this whole plane situation. All of that relates to this whole plane situation because it's bigger than this whole conversation. And the problem is that there's always constantly so much going on there. Like, there's always so much going on. And that's why you cannot just rely on the comment section. You have to rely on your gut. And since day one of just me being in a public eye, period, I've always been that way. I've always beat to my own drum. I've always moved based off of intuition and how I felt in my faith. I am just rebellious by nature. I do not believe in anything that people tell me I should believe just to believe it. Okay. People's first questions, like whenever somebody hears somebody is a flat earther or something like that, the first thing is, oh, well, how do you know it's true? And where do you get this from? And what's the truth to that? And what's the proof? And baby, what's the proof of what you're holding on to? Because a lot of this shit that we are force fed and spoon fed, a lot of it is based off of somebody else's opinion or somebody else's narrative, whatever narrative motherfuckers want spun at the time. So everybody needs to be in a state of constantly questioning everything, not just people like me who think a little off and differently from the rest, but you constantly need to be questioning. And I've always said, since I was a little kid, I'm going to question everything. Because since I was a little kid, this has been the world that has always claimed no child left behind, but yet will send that black ass or white ass to war as soon as you turn 18. Make it fucking make sense. No child left behind, but as soon as you turn 18, you supposed to go out there and fight for the right of this country, and motherfuckers don't give a fuck if you die, and all you get is a name on a fucking statue once a year and a holiday that you ain't even gonna be here to celebrate. Please make it make sense. I'm questioning every motherfucking thing. This is the same country where you can go outside and just for being fucking black, you can get a knee to your goddamn neck. And now we out here protesting Black Lives Matter. And now they out here trying to take us back to segregation days. Okay, where they policing women's bodies and they trying to bring segregation back. And I'm not allowed to question anything. Like, since when I'm seeing... This is why I'm scared to do content like this. I'm gonna need y'all to sign up for my Patreon. I'm gonna need y'all to sign up for my Patreon. I'm gonna need y'all to sign up for my Patreon because the things that I really want to go. Let me drop the link. Hold on. Let's drop the video. Wait.
Now, I love y'all, and I love doing YouTube, but y'all know YouTube be on that bullshit, and right now, it's quite literally the motherfucking ghetto. And listen, if you know me from way back when, then you know it's two things about your girl. Number one, I hate being anybody's best kept secret. And number two, if it don't make dollars, it don't make Scott no motherfucking sense, ho. So with that said, the best way to help me help you and keep the fun going is to join the Patreon, baby. Now I know I've struggled with consistency and whatnot in the past. I get it. But listen, baby, when our creative fund is impacted, then that makes it hard for me to do the content that y'all love, whether that be story times, commentary, hell, even my motherfucking music. Like, it makes it extremely hard to do. So I'm telling y'all now, if you're only experiencing me through this platform, which is YouTube, then baby, you are only getting half of the tea. So head on over to Patreon to get the full Scott Santana experience. And also, because a lot of people have been asking me like, oh, Scott, when you bringing your story times back, oh, what happened to the laptop? What happened to those videos like from 2016? That channel that I have that I was doing story times on, that channel from 2016 is no longer. But here's the good thing about Patreon. So now it's 2023. I'm older. I'm 30 years old. Well, a whole different fucking gender now. But listen, how cool and exciting and fun would it be if I went back and I retold some of the old stories that you guys knew and loved from me, but from a grown and older, grown and sexy 30-year-old mature perspective? Like, how dope would that be? So make sure that y'all go down to the description box, you click on the link to get to my Patreon, and y'all motherfucking subscribe, ho. Definitely make sure that y'all follow me on Twitter, okay? Because I swear I be over there talking to myself. Like, I be live reacting and live tweeting in real time to the fuck shit that y'all be putting on Beyonce's internet. So definitely make sure that you follow me on Twitter so you can keep up with the engagement and what's not. And definitely make sure that you stream my music too, okay? Because I talk shit, but I also write hits, okay? So don't be dumb, bitch, because you ain't dumb, bitch. Back to the video.
Make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to that Patreon. Patreon.com/Scott Santana, because I'm still gonna be me, and I'm gonna still try to get my point across when I'm doing videos and making content. But for obvious reasons, I'm not gonna be able to go in as deep as I would like, and I am gonna have to censor myself to some degree. We still gonna have conversations, and everything is gonna be led by the Holy Spirit. Okay? Erica Badu, don't be cursing in spirit like I be doing. You're not me. Everything is still going to be led through spirit and through God. But I am going to have to censor myself in certain places. So just please go subscribe to that Patreon, patreon.com/Scott Santana, so we can have some full, in-depth, uncensored conversations, because there are things that I want to say and will always be saying. But I'm going to just say this right now. Question everything. Y'all get played like fucking fools every single day, and it pisses me off. And so this adds to why, this is exactly why I say black girl magic, black excellence, all of that shit is a fucking illusion, because half the time it's really just used for points to look good in the sake of an argument, right? Like, motherfuckers ain't really out here supporting like they should be, okay? It's just arguing points, right? And a lot of the times with these colorism conversations and things like that, it's not that these issues do not exist. What it is it's manufactured beef that I wish a lot of y'all would wake up to and realize. Because the more that you are focused on all of that shit that is so low vibrational and does nothing but divide you further, whether it's against other people outside of the community or people within your own community, it's all low vibrational shit to keep your mind focused on that instead of questioning this real shit that's actually going on, that the universe is trying to show you. Look around. Wake the fuck up. COVID was supposed to be the world's earthquake that shook everybody to their core and woke everybody the fuck up, but clearly a lot of people are still asleep. Mermaids, sirens, boats going missing, alien sightings, balloons like that aren't UFOs, but like are being used as a distraction. The Red Smoke Canada wildfires, like all of this shit is related. The dolphins attacking boats, like all of this shit is related. It's so much going on right now. And even with the ocean, that's a whole other discussion that we're going to talk about in a separate video. Because even with what's going on with the ocean, and you see how countless celebrities are getting shit thrown at them while they're on stage. Oh yeah, baby, all of that is happening because Saturn is in Pisces. Pisces rules over creativity, artistic ability, but it also rules over the oceans. Saturn is all about restrictions and boundaries, right? So if Pisces is an artist and Saturn is about restrictions and boundaries, sounds like to me, yeah, Saturn and Pisces sounds like people crossing the artist's boundaries, which would be what? People throwing shit up on stage. We've seen at least 3 or 4 artists that have been on stage in the last 3 weeks. Okay, who was it? It was Bebe Rexha had a phone through at her head. Then somebody brought Pink a cheese wheel, and then somebody brought Pink ashes of their grandmother or relative, and then somebody threw a water bottle at fucking Sexy Red. All of that happened within like 2 weeks. To the point where more than likely what's going to happen is, and it'll probably happen, I think, because I don't know if Saturn is retrograde in Pisces right now or like it, but it's definitely going to happen when a transit goes forward. We're going to see some rules implemented, right? There's going to be like some sort of plexiglass that goes up or something that's going to be done to protect people that are on stage and to protect the artists. But even with what's going on in the oceans, between the submarine trying to go down way too deep, okay, that's let's just say that the temperature is being checked with that to see how far we can go before we, disclose the fact that space is really underwater. And that's how you really get to space, right? And then with the dolphins attacking the boats, that's still Saturn and Pisces, okay? Again, restrictions, boundaries, like the Earth is tired of us. These UFOs popping up and these sightings, it's disclosure, it's temperature checking to see where people are, because it's getting to a point where we're all going to have to learn how to coexist on this planet. All of these things that we've been taught isn't real or isn't mythical and this, that, and it all exists. It all exists. It all exists. And the more things that we keep hearing that sound so out of this world and that we keep trying to wrap our mind around it and make sound logical and try to find some type of logical reason for it. No. Because these events are happening for a reason. The Earth is tired of humans and what's been going on. And I know I sound like I'm all over the place because I'm conflating 20 different topics right now because they all relate to this plane situation, and we'll do individual deep dives on those. But like, just wake up. So if we go back to this whole plane situation, right? We go back to this whole plane situation or a state of fear. Again, everybody had their opinions, and then you had a few people that was in the comments like, oh yeah, reptilian, which I believe is what the fuck it was. I do. Now, again, we live on this earth. Humans are not the only people on this earth walking around. If you believe that, you're stupid. Or sleep. That's another reason why it's going to be hard for me to do comments. Because listen, I'm not good at debating. I just want to fight. Okay, I'm not good at debating. Like I just want to fight. If you're thinking logically, this is not the place for you. Open up your mind. You're not the only one on this earth. And this lady saw something. She saw something. And I believe that the person that she saw was shape-shifting before her eyes. Maybe she looked them in the eyes and saw it change. I don't know. But I do believe that what she saw was not 100% human. Now, there was other videos that came out, and we can look at this video right here.
This is a new video made by another passenger who was on the flight the woman on the plane was on, who became distraught when she realized she was supposedly sitting next to a shapeshifter.
Hey, stop the fucking plane. Stop the plane! What's going on? Stop it. Stop it.
Now, mind you, does this look like a drunk lady? Because this is video footage of before she was like, right now, stop the plane right now. Now, don't get me wrong. From the first video, it would be kind of, kind of believable because we're so used to seeing belligerent drunk people. And then the way that she was pronouncing her words, right now, stop the plane right now. But what about this footage right here? Because this is before. This is before she got fed up and increasingly more scared. And we have all been in situations where we've all been in a situation where we felt gaslit. And I know I have definitely been in situations where my gifts were acting up and I saw shit and I felt shit and nobody around was listening to me. And I used to talk about it all the time in my story time videos. I used to talk about it all the time. How my gifts and shit would act up and my intuition would be all over the place. My gut would be all over the place. And motherfuckers would just look at me like, oh, you just scared. You just pussy. Da, 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 and then boom. Boom. Hell, I remember the last time I had a really, really bad panic attack was June 2021. Go figure, right? And it was Pride. And my friend came from out of town to visit me for 2 weeks and came specifically for Pride. And I remember that it was a slow start getting out to Pride, right? Because Pride is like all day. But like we probably didn't get out the house until like 6, 7. I know it was starting to like sunset. And I know like we didn't even make it one block and I could not breathe. And by this time it's June 2021. So like we've dealt with like a lot of souls and like I've already, like I've always known I was gifted, but like, I've like we talking about like grown adult me that's come into spirituality and understands me better, like versus like 14 when I was having random panic attacks and anxiety attacks. I didn't know why. And so I knew something was wrong, but I did not know what, right? Because my gifts comes and goes. And long story short, a lot of bullshit happened that the universe was trying to warn me about, that my body was trying to warn me about. And it made sense later on, right? And thankfully, the friend that I was with was understanding. They was there for me. They didn't try to like rush me or anything like that. Like they was understanding the patient. But I've also been in those situations where I've had anxiety attacks or visions or, just these things happen to me to warn me of what's to come. And then I've had motherfuckers sit and try to gaslight me. Oh, you're not feeling that. Oh, you're not seeing that. Oh, you're not looking at that. Oh, da 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 da. And I believe that's exactly what's happened in this situation with this plane lady. And I'm not one to project my trauma onto other people like the way that y'all hoes be doing. Okay, no, deal with your trauma. I'm not one to try to empathize and try to trauma bond like, oh, that could have been me. No. I'm literally looking at this situation objectively, and I see somebody who is visibly shaken up, visibly fucking scared, and everybody else does not feel that same energy, does not sense that, and everybody else is just going based off of their logicalness, like, oh, she must be drunk, or oh, like da 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 da. And then at the same time, on the flip side of that, just to give a bit of benefit of the doubt, like I said earlier, everybody's not going to be tapped into the same frequencies and vibrations. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's not going to see and feel what the fuck she's feeling, right? There could be a whole fucking alien right the fuck in front of you. There could be a whole motherboard craft above your fucking house. 10 people might see it, you might not, because you may not be at the vibration to where you're able to see that and to tap into that dimension, because it might be too powerful for you to handle right now. Because certain dimensions and certain frequencies are, if you try to tap into it too soon, it can kill you. It can wipe you out. Now that's a way deeper conversation on its own. That might even listen. That's a whole way deeper conversation on its own. Those that get what I'm talking about. But like, I'm not looking at her like she's drunk and like she's crazy. I'm looking at her like, no, she saw something, she felt something, she's scared. There's people on the plane that do not get it, reasonably so, because they're not able to tap into. But then at the same time, you can tell that this is about to be a situation where it's just about to be, oh, this drunk Karen.
I need to get the fuck off this plane. Okay. I can get a volunteer. I get a volunteer to sit in the house. what happens. See what happens after this. See what happens. Where's your bag? Your bag's all on the floor. See what happens.
And just pay attention to the fact that she's increasingly getting more angry, right? This is only at 118 and this shit is 420. Child, not 420. Speaking of eclipses and shit, child. This is at 118. Go back to 1 minute, right? Let's go back to 1 minute and see how calm she was.
This is a new video made by another passenger who was on the flight the woman on the plane was on, who became distraught when she realized she was supposedly sitting next to a shapeshifter.
Hey, stop the fucking plane. Stop the plane.
Okay. Now, granted, she's yelling like, "Get me off the fucking plane!" Da 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 da. But like, it's not like to the point where she was before. Like, get me right now. No, it becomes increasingly worse for her. So let's get back up here to 118.
License verified to Santana, stand by protocol.
And y'all see that, right? Somebody is on a plane saying, "Yo, listen, I'm a licensed attorney," and I guess this person is like trying to talk to her, like, "Yo, like, chill, because this could turn into something else."
After this new footage of the woman on the plane who claims to have seen a shapeshifter, some people close to the woman claim that the passenger sitting next to her blinked her eyes differently. The people heard claim that that person blinked in a manner similar to what we are showing in this video. Then the passenger realized the anomaly, got desperate, and decided to leave the flight before it took off. This is a new video made by another passenger who was on the flight the woman on the
Oh my God.
Let's talk about it.
Child, not me hitting the wrong button. But look at God. Look at Spirit. Look at Spirit. Let's talk about it, because what do you say? What do you say? And so I could go through the comments right now, but this video was already long. Like, I could go through
This
the
is a
comments
new
right
video made
now
by an
and you'll see people like, why does nobody have a video of the person she was next to commenting? So the algorithm keeps me on. We have no context, so we can't assume shapeshifter unless she speaks out. All the people on the plane with cameras and then nobody get a video with do. She genuinely seems to be terrified. So at least like this part of TikTok, right? This part of TikTok seems to be awake and seems to be, aware. Okay. Because you do have so many people that are looking at this situation and again trying to make it seem like this lady was drunk. Like, and here's my thing with like that I hate. It's like no matter what you post, there's always gonna be people to try to negate. And I almost want to say like people are paid to purposely troll or purposely sway people in a different direction. It's like stop always looking for the logical way out of shit because there was a story that came out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and play it now. Because this adds to the point of this whole goddamn video.
This is a new
This
video
adds to
made
the
by
point of this whole goddamn video, right? Listen to what this lady
If you
says.
want to know what happened to the lady on the plane at the airport who saw something and told everybody that they were going to die, listen, this is what happened. I heard firsthand from another woman on the plane who just shared the whole story on TikTok. And I'm going to try to give it back to you verbatim as best I can in very short form. She said that this woman boarded the plane. She was seen drinking before she got on board, and she was sitting there with her AirPods in. They left the terminal, were on the tarmac, about to leave, when she, like an AirPod fell out, and she accused the man sitting next to her, who was African American, of stealing her AirPods.
Okay, now pause right here. I'm not even gonna wait till this bitch is done speaking. I'm gonna pause it right here because I need for people to know when y'all are like. I need y'all to know when y'all being fucking played with because the shit happens day to day to day. And again, this is why I say fuck all of that low vibrational shit. Like, don't be one of those people that is just gonna go and immediately jump to being offended by every fucking thing because. How convenient that we have this story that goes viral, right? This story that goes viral, there's nothing from any of the passengers for days. Nothing from any of the passengers for days, right? But this story is going viral. It's everywhere. And it's to the point where, okay, this is not just a TikTok story, but this is now, on blogs and news and magazines. You know what I mean? Like, and granted, I've seen several stories go viral on TikTok, and then baby, listen, the way that y'all social media hunters be, y'all will find the motherfucker in the hour, and then in the next hour, you got the person that was within the video recanting or telling a story or telling a version of events. Everybody following them. Now they a new social media star and all of that. We are days later since this shit has happened. That lady that was in the video still has not come out. Which, and I'm just saying now because I'm gonna probably forget later, but I feel like she isn't gonna come out, or if she does come out, her story is gonna be different. It's gonna be different. You don't get to say things like that, like what she did, and then it go as public and as viral as it did, without something or someone intervening. And I'm patreon.com/contactskysantana. But you cannot just speak out as publicly like that and things go that viral without something or someone intervening. Patreon.com/contactskysantana. And so if that lady does come back out and we do hear her side, her version of the story is probably going to be drastically different. Probably. And that's if we hear her side of the story. But again, I've seen TikTok videos where things have happened, like, and it could be something so simple as like, oh, I saw this girl that was pretty in the line. Like y'all remember that creepy ass trend that I fucking hate, where the son of the I don't even know her name, but I can't even remember it. But y'all know what I'm talking about, where motherfuckers, instead of just going up to the person that they like, they pull out their phone and they record in them, and then I fell in love with somebody that don't even know my name or some shit like that. Then by the next fucking day, they in a whole fucking relationship because the person done found the other person because y'all done went, dug out their social media, this, that, and the third. So you mean to tell me that this whole plane situation happened over half a week ago and we still don't have that access to that lady? And then it takes days for other people to come out with they side of the story and shit like that. And so now that this has become a world phenomenon, how convenient is it that the story that we're hearing now, that this lady wants to come out and say, that's being, because this is the first video I saw of it, but I saw people commenting this story everywhere. So in places where people were trying to not necessarily go with the logical side and go with their intuition and go with their gut and be like, no, that's a shapeshifter, or oh, it's something evil going on, and this, that, and the third, and I felt her, and people were on the lady's side. There were other people in the comments trying to go against it by shoving this logical theory down everybody's throats. How convenient is it that everybody's waking up and everybody's not just automatically going with logic and believing their intuition, and we now want to come with this excuse of, oh, yeah, I saw her before the plane at a bar drinking. And then she had AirPods. And then this black guy. And then she went off on him. No, what you're trying to do is paint her as a drunk. Okay? Then you say AirPods. You don't say headphones. You say AirPods to let everybody know it's Apple, so it's a product of value. Then you mention the fact that the guy is black because, ooh, let's get the Negroes riled up, okay? Because that's one thing y'all gonna do every goddamn time. Every goddamn time, y'all gonna get riled up. As soon as y'all hit them buzzwords, y'all gonna get riled the fuck up and do their job for them. So let's not just mention the fact that, ooh, I saw her at a bar, because that implies she's drunk. Then it's, oh, she had AirPods. Okay, that implies she has money. Okay? Or at least she was carrying something expensive. Oh, then there was this black guy that she was seated next to. Oh, racial profiling. Okay, and then she says that he stole them. Racial profiling. And what happens? This turns into a whole race war, a whole color war, a whole black versus white, a whole Karen and da 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 da. Instead of focusing on the fact that this lady saw what she saw. You see how very quickly, like, that's all it takes. That's literally, y'all would be surprised. All it fucking takes is to just mention the fact that somebody was black, and y'all be ready to go in and fight. This is why I say stop letting people use y'all. Stop entertaining these dumbass conversations that don't fucking matter. Because they're trying to gaslight y'all and manipulate y'all into thinking that this is a story of a white woman who racially profiled a black man, and that's not what the fuck happened. She saw a fucking shapeshifter. And they're going to do anything and everything to conceal that truth. Because the truth be told, listen. What can I say? Okay, so if the engine controls the car, and the car is how you get around, child, reptilians are engines then. And the car is this world. They don't want that information to come out. They're going to do any and everything to stop that information from coming out. Use y'all fucking heads.
Started yelling, pitching a fit. The flight attendant came over, a man, and was trying to calm her down. That's when she starts flipping out and saying that the flight attendant is not real. This flight attendant is the man who she's accusing is not real. So she gets up and she's yelling, "Get me off the plane. I want off the plane. That man is not real." And they have to turn the whole plane around. She starts yelling how everybody's going to die. And they turn the plane around for her, go back. Everybody has to get off the plane because of all of this being said about everybody going to die. They have to sweep the whole airplane. The plane is delayed 4 hours. Apparently, she tries to get back on board, and the woman said that she is asked or like escorted back, like when she's trying to come back to the terminal. People come and stop her, like, people that work there come and stop her and escort her away, and like the whole of the airplane, the people that are on board start cheering as she's escorted back. Like, don't you dare try to get back on this airplane. So that is the short of it. This lady goes into much better detail because she was on the airplane, but I just heard it. I don't know if you've heard the story, and I have been dying to know, so thought I would come on here and share what I heard. So that's it. Yeah, fascinating. Also, if there is anybody that knows more about the story or knows something that's incorrect about the story that was on the plane or anything, please feel free to correct me.
Now, mind you, this is hearsay. Okay, the person who posted this video wasn't even on a goddamn fucking flight. She was probably just an agent of chaos hired to sell a narrative. I mean, this shit happens every fucking day right in front of y'all eyes and y'all don't realize it. Okay, listen, when motherfuckers want a certain narrative out there, they will bury a story. They will pay people to push a story. They will pay people to push a song. Okay? Y'all still thinking Bodak Yellow and Put It on the Floor is organic. Okay? Like, it happens. When motherfuckers want a particular narrative out there, they will either pay whatever to get rid of it or pay whatever to push it. Question everything. Everything. Whether it's motherfuckers that's in the comments commenting a certain narrative, or people that's jumping to tell a story that's not even theirs. That's not even theirs. Now, granted, it could just be this lady wanted to do the TikTok telling somebody else's story, you know, just for the views and attention. That's possible. I mean, people do anything for clickbait and for virality. But then you had somebody that was actually on the plane, and this was his story.
Okay, here's the story time for you. I'm gonna try.
Notice the 222. Notice the 222 right there, right?
If you want to know what happened to the lady on the plane,
Hold on, because I'm trying to see if this was going to say 777. Because it doesn't on the computer, but when I showed it on my phone, it says 777. So the comments are off on this. But yeah, notice the 222, right? Angel numbers all around. And also, too, this is somebody else who posted somebody else's story. But just because it's in a way in which we go and see how it's quick. See how it's so easy to paint a fucking narrative, right? Just because it's in the favor of the narrative that we're going with, we're just going to ignore the fact that this is a reposted story.
Okay, here's the story time for you. I'm gonna try. I've tried like 2 times to record this, but I keep going over the 3-minute limit, and I don't want to do a part 1, part 2 type thing. So I'm gonna try to be specific. I was on that flight. It was American Airlines. We were leaving Dallas Fort Worth. I was sitting in the left aisle, about 3 rows back from this woman. She was sitting in the right aisle, and she had this very interesting exchange with some dude in a hoodie. I don't remember the color of the hoodie. I really, you know how memory is. When you're not super paying attention, you don't remember all the details. I had one headphone in, couldn't hear all the specifics of what happened, but I noticed this exchange between this woman and this dude in a hoodie. And it was kind of weird at the time because it seemed like no one else before she really started getting frantic, like was paying attention to this, but that makes sense. It was like a normal flight. This was after putting all the luggage away. We'd been on the plane for a little bit. It was before the flight attendant came over and gave the little spiel. And what I remember is she was having like a full-blown conversation with this dude in the hoodie. I'll call him the hoodie guy. She was having a full-blown conversation with hoodie guy. The weird thing was that he never once said a fucking word to her the whole time. And at the time, I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about it.
Now pause. Now go back to what I was telling y'all earlier. Go back to what I was saying earlier, right? Go back to what I was saying earlier. Different frequencies, different vibrations are going to notice different things, right? And I'm trying to think because I save too many posts on TikTok a day for me to like just, oh God. Yeah, I save too many posts on TikTok a day. But there's this trend going around on TikTok, and I forgot, for the life of me, I forgot what it's fucking called. If I can remember, I'll put it in the comments later on. But there's this trend that's going around on TikTok, and basically it's where like you get into like a really, really, really bad car accident or like a really, really bad near death experience, and you remember the death experience one way, and then the people around you remember it another way. And it's extremely viral on TikTok right now, where people are talking like about their experiences. Like there are people who have, like, there was this black girl who ended up paralyzed, right? She got into a really bad car accident, and she remembers this woman. I think she even called like the woman Grace or something like that, but she remembers the woman getting into the car with her, telling her everything's going to be okay, this, that, and the third. And basically, she, like, when the cops finally arrived or whatever, because the lady was sitting there helping her and like, yo, just hold on, just hold on, just hold on. You got this. The cops are coming. They're coming. When the cops arrived, she disappeared. And later on, when she came to and was healthy and healed and all of that or whatever, she told the story to the people that was there, that witnessed the story with her. And they were like, yeah, there was no woman there. You were just laying there on the ground. And she was like, no, there was a woman there. I specifically remember like it was yesterday, like there was a woman there, this, that, and the third. Now, mind you, it would be weird if it was just a one-off, but there's thousands upon thousands of people with the same type of stories to where they had one version of reality and then someone else had a different version of reality. So it's funny. It's funny that this man is saying that this lady who we thought was drunk and this, that, and the third was sitting there having a full-blown conversation to somebody that was not paying any attention back to her. That's funny. And if you think about it, we've heard shit like this before, right? How many times are we walking down the street and then people say, oh, that homeless person is crazy? How many times have we seen movies and then it's always a person that has 1,001 voices in their head that people get, they get labeled as being schizophrenic? We've seen it 1,001 times before. And I used to say, even as a little kid, like, how do we know that person is schizophrenic? Maybe the voices in their head that they're hearing is the spirit realm. Or maybe they're gifted and it's so overwhelming for them that they don't know how to use it or process it. Because we seen just now for about an hour and a half what logic can do. Your logical brain will try and justify and find any way to excuse something that you do not understand or something that you fear. So how do we know schizophrenic people aren't just extremely gifted people that are trying so hard to justify with a logical excuse, but they can't. And so it freaks them the fuck out. And that everybody else who's logical is just looking at them thinking that they're going fucking crazy. I say all of that to say, all of that relates back to this lady. Because if she was sitting there having a conversation with him, but he couldn't tell and it looked like the dude wasn't paying attention, I'm pretty sure if we heard her side of the story, she would tell you all sorts of things that this nigga was probably telling her. Because ain't nobody going to sit there. Ain't nobody in a right mind is going to sit there and just keep talking to somebody that's ignoring them. That's ignoring them. Sometimes y'all got to ask the simplest of questions. Who is paying money just to end up on the no-fly zone list? Who? And all of this started because somebody was ignoring her? That doesn't make sense. Let's go back and get into the video. And I'm not saying that that's what he said, but what I'm saying is, like, consider everything.
But it was like it's like she would say something and he like would respond, but there was no exchange happening. It was just her getting more and more frantic, which, okay, if she's drunk and she's going crazy, then you would think the dude in the hoodie would have been like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? But he was just like dead locked on her, like deep eye contact with her. Like I don't want to feed into the conspiracies here, but like
he was communicating with her. He was communicating with her. He was communicating with her. And if you go and you look, like, because again, this conversation could go down so many holes. We're not about to get into species and hybrids and what's human, what's not, because we could really, really go there. Like, I mean, to the point where we start talking about how aliens are a different breed of us and we're a different breed of alien. Like, we could really go down that path, but we're not going to do that. But at the same time, the world is bigger than just us. We communicate verbally. Even if your mind is somewhere else and you still in disbelief, baby, do turtles need to bark or whatever they do to communicate? Do they need to open up their mouth to communicate? No, but they communicate. Do sharks? Birds go tweet, 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 but every tweet sounds like the same tweet before. But yet they still know to communicate. When dogs go woof, it sounds like the same woof before, but they still know how to communicate. Telepathy is a real thing. They were having a conversation. He may not have been saying anything physically, but they were having a conversation. And from her point of view, it was a conversation. And here is somebody that is noticing and may not be able to put it into words and say exactly what it was. But, oh, yes, it was like she was under a spell, under some sort of telepathic spell.
Almost like she was like in a hypnosis type of thing. And she started getting more and more frantic to the point where then people started kind of noticing. Flight attendant came over, tried to calm her down, like, what's going on? She sat back down, but she kept looking over at this dude in the hoodie. And finally she was like done with it. And that's like when I really started paying attention, like, okay, what the fuck is going on? And that's when she was like, I can't do this. She started getting up. She started walking up to the front. And then the whole video thing happened. I didn't take a video of it. I was listening to a Stephen King audiobook. I wasn't like pulling out my phone to record this. And she didn't seem drunk to me, by the way. Just throwing that out there. I didn't see her drink. I mean, she seemed totally.
Now pause. Because y'all have heard me mention disclosure a couple of times within this. And it's funny how the one person that's speaking out and on her behalf is the person that was reading a Stephen King, who is known for horror. Okay, known for his awesome work in the genre of horror. It's funny how that is the one person who is speaking out on her behalf. Is the person who is a fan of Stephen King, the greatest writer of horror of all time. Crazy how that connects, right? Isn't it? Isn't it? That's a synchronicity. That is a synchronicity. I'm telling you, if you just pay attention, it's not just 111s and 222s and the flags are constantly in your face, red flags and green flags. And this is a synchronicity. You have the person who is a horror fan that believes you and is on your side and is speaking out on your behalf. And then to make it even more weird is the fact that, like I said, disclosure. There's so many movies. It's universal karmic law of the earth. You have to disclose what you're doing before you do it. It's karmic law. So it's funny how we've watched so many horror movies of aliens and zombies and this, that, and the third, and yet here we are. Because that's what reptilians are. They're a form of alien. Or listen, we're not going to get into specifics. We could. Okay? I believe that they were talking telepathically. And even if you do a deep dive on alien invasions, they speak about telepathy that aliens have. And they also speak about how, which, again, another fucking situation, another story that sounds so similar to what I was just telling y'all about, right? Just like how the people that would get into the car crashes and these near-death experiences, and then, they would be kind of like in quote-unquote illusion and see people that weren't there. Same shit. When you speak to somebody that's going through an alien invasion or been abducted by aliens, they say the same shit. When they see an alien, it could be like 9:43 p.m. And then by the time they come back and they wake up, they realize that they've been gone for like 10 hours. When really it felt like 2 minutes. Telling you, when it comes to all of this outer worldly shit, you gotta suspend your belief, and you gotta suspend everything that you've been known, everything that you've known, everything that you've been taught. So much. I promise y'all, so much is about to come out. So much is about to come out, and not just this month, not just this year. It's gonna be a rollout. It's gonna be a gradual process, and yes, at some point by 2030, there will be contact made. There will be. Because at some point we're gonna have to figure out how to work together for the greater part of this earth. Like, you ain't never wondered why the area patreon.com/STORYTIMES, because I don't know how much I can say. But you just sometimes you just gotta stop and wonder and ask yourself the simple, honest questions like, why is that area over there? Huh? Now, what does a world war have to do with aliens. Like, why? Why is 49 plus 2? Okay. Why is the location that is 49 plus 2 located near a place with GUNS and WAR training? You never wondered that? Because maybe this all our Earth. We all live here. Act up, they going to act out. It's that simple. And if certain things were here to hurt, it would have been done that. And that goes back to the smoke and mirror conversations that I was saying earlier. But in terms of this situation right here, like I said, it's just interesting that this is the person that's speaking out for her, especially given that, you know, we have all of these conversations and all of these movies about discourse where they have the hidden messages and shit like that. Hell, we just had The Little Mermaid. Okay, come on now. Like, sirens and mermaids aren't a real thing, okay? And evil. Okay? Right, come on. Right? But let's go ahead and get back into this so we can wrap this up.
Totally normal to me up until that point. The weird thing was after she left the plane, the dude in the hoodie, which the flight attendant was like, did anything happen? And he still didn't say a word. He just went like, and like shrugged. The dude in the hoodie like looked around the plane and he looked back at me and he winked at me. And again, I didn't quite register it. I was like, okay, what the fuck was that about? I was like, maybe he's just being like an ass, like winking. Like, that was weird, wasn't it? But now that I look back, I realized that when he winked at me and it was his left eye looking back at me, it didn't wink like this. It winked like this. And I didn't even register.
And honestly, I could go to his page to finish watching the rest of the video, but it doesn't even matter. Because like I said, when you are of a certain vibration, of a certain frequency, you're able to tap into certain shit. And like I said, all of that is a flag from spirit. It's a download from spirit. It's a notification from spirit. Like, all of that was meant to happen the way that it happened. He was meant to see it as well. And whatever it was that he saw picked up on his energy and his vibration and his frequency. It picked up on it. That's why he was able to see it. That's why they was able to see each other. I don't know, man. I was not expecting this video to be this long. And I could keep going because I found so many different videos and they all kind of reposting the same shit, but it's really all just people saying the same shit. Either it's people that is awake or people like, there's nobody that's like really in the middle. It's really like people that's like, she saw something, and then there's people that's like, the bitch is drunk, or there's a logical reason, and it just adds to everything that I said within my reading, which I may end up posting on this channel anyways. But I'm telling you, definitely make sure that y'all are live and high. Definitely make sure that you go book a personal reading with me if you need one. thealigningsouls.com. It's been on the screen scrolling. Okay, and definitely make sure that you sign up for my Patreon. Patreon.com/StOryTimes. Okay, so I can be able to get into some deeper discussions about shit, because it's a lot that I'm gonna want to talk about and I have commentary on and that I have opinions on. Like, literally, don't get me wrong, the sex story times and all of the shit that we do on this channel, or that I used to do, like, it's cute and it's surface shit, but like in real life, I'm sitting at home watching like documentaries and going down rabbit holes of what's really in Antarctica and what. It's funny because every time I mention this, I keep using the same 3 examples, but that just goes to show how sensitive and limited you are when you speak about certain things. But yes, just follow me on Patreon. Okay, so I love each and every one of y'all. Definitely let me know what your thoughts and shit are down below in the comment box below. Like, I'm telling y'all, there has been a great divide, and it's only going to get worse because a lot of us are entering into new life in new earth, because a lot of us have graduated and ascended into that place. And it's been a long time coming since the end of 2019. And a lot of people are going to get left behind. And don't be surprised if people start falling away from your life over these next 3 months. Don't be surprised if people start falling away, or if people start coming into your life and it feels like you've always known them because it's your soul tribe. Like, do not be surprised. Do not be surprised. Like, you're not going to be able to ascend with everybody and go to the same heights with everybody. Like, I love to use the plane analogy of it. It's like a lot of us are ascending into new heights, and a lot of the people that we trying to bring with us, they got baggage that's holding us and weighing us down and keeping us at a low vibration. And the ascension, the heights, the dimension that spirit and the universe and God is trying to take us to, they can't go because they just don't get it. And it's not your job to force anybody to wake up. If you're on a spiritual journey, if you're spiritually awakening right now, if you're ascending, it's not your job to wake anybody up. Hell, it's not my job. And I had to realize that very quickly. It's not my job and it's not your job. All we can do is come together with like-minded souls that already either see the light and have made it out, or see the light and just need a little extra boost, a little extra, you know? But it's not our job to go into the darkness and try to hold the light for anybody. And no. Mm-mm. In fact, it's a little too late. Judgment Day is a real thing. So keep vibing high, keep praying. You know, whoever you believe in, make sure that you stay prayed up. Okay, make sure that your team is around you. You calling your angels in. Okay, because shit is gonna get hectic out here. Like, it's not just a spiritual war that's going on and been going on. Spiritual war has been going on for years. Okay, and there's always some type of spiritual war going on, some type of spiritual warfare rather. But now a lot of this shit is about to start coming into the 3D. Okay, a lot of this shit is about to start manifesting physically, and I've talked about this and I've warned motherfuckers about this since 2019 on my other channel. But a lot of this shit is about to come into the physical. I'm telling you, a lot is going on. A lot of what we've been taught is wrong. This world is much bigger than we've been led to believe. The map that we've studied is not our real map. Hell, we as people and the animals were larger. Why the fuck you think giants is a thing? They're real. They're real. Okay? Whether you want to call it fallen angels, Nephilim, listen, all of that shit that motherfuckers say is mythical and all of it is real. So I didn't expect this video to be this long. This was just, you know, the tip of the fucking iceberg. But I look forward to getting into deeper discussions about this. I still don't know how I'm going to separate this. I mean, if anything, I'm going to just keep commentary on this channel. Even if it is like deeper world conversations on this channel, because essentially that's what it was supposed to be. Like, Let's Talk About It was supposed to be about what's on the blogs, and then Chi-Chi's commentary was supposed to be about, you know, the greater world topics. So this was kind of more of like a Chi-Chi's commentary, but more to like a Let's Talk About It, because, like, you know, it had gone viral. But yeah, I don't know yet. Maybe I'll put everything on one channel one day. I don't know, but at least the commentary I'm gonna probably want to likely leave over here. But yeah, if you want readings, like zodiac readings and personal readings and my psychic messages and urgent messages and all of that, definitely go over to youtube.com/aligningsouls and subscribe so you can get that. You know, if I feel the urge to put it on this channel, I will. Or if I feel the urge to, you know, put it within a video, like I did, you know, with the reading I posted the other day, and how related to this story, then maybe I will. I don't know yet. Just bear with me. But follow both pages just in case, and go subscribe to my Patreon. And like I said, if you would like to book a personal reading, okay, a full 30-minute personal reading where we deep dive into your tea, figure out why the fuck you are, the way that you are, who you are, where you come from, where you going, okay, who your husband gonna be, who your wife gonna be, what type of money you gonna make, what dream, job, career you should be doing, what's gonna come up this next fucking year, what's coming up, you know, in this third week of July when everybody's life about to fucking change. Like, we can deep dive into all of that, because that's what I do. TheAligningsouls.com. Go book your personal reading and watch me fuck up your life for the better. Okay? Hope y'all enjoyed this. If I didn't say it, then it wasn't said. I'm just here to hold you back so I can help push you further. And yeah, I love each and every one of y'all hoes. And HD, bitch. Bye. Oh, wait, hold on. No, now I got to keep y'all stalling because I didn't even upload my new fucking outro yet. Girl, did I even save it? Okay, because I was like, Pop Rocks? Nope, I went ignorant. Y'all can wait. Y'all ain't doing shit. Y'all been here an hour and a half already. Making me late. Like I ain't had shit to do. I was supposed to leave the house at 3 o'clock. Girl, it's 4. Y'all can wait. Y'all can wait. Oh my God. Okay. Bye-bye now. Mwah. Look at the ass, look at the tag.
flex. Look at the way that she walking the halls. Look at the way that she pass. Look at the dash. Look at the keeping the foot on the gas. Look at the trash. Stopping and staring at that. Leader of the bag. Bitch can't do it like me, and it ain't shit to say, but a whole lot to see. On the V to the I to the motherfucking P. You can never get in where you don't compete. Yes, I am the leader of the new school. Bringing cut and a whole lot of new bros. Giving the guys so the shit get the people. This body, this tongue gets lethal. Oh, no, I don't wanna kiki hoe. This shit right here on repeat, yo. Not here, one of y'all gon' see me though. In charge of the girl that Chi hoe. I'm the motherfucking queen of the shit. Who you know, running up the green till it's lit. Throwing ass when the digits turn on my head. Till a bitch talk shit, then it shout to the lips, bitch. All my bitches say ignorant. All my bitches say hella bit. All my bitches say in the club, unless you can't handle it. All my bitches say ignorant. All my bitches say hella bit. All my bitches say in the.
Hold up, bitch. I uploaded the wrong motherfucking outro. Child, it's supposed to say Sky Santana, not Chi. But Ignorant by Sky Santana. Bye, bitch.